So first of all, I'd just like to explain a bit more about the Wealth Club and why I'm doing this. So to help explain that, I'd like to do a quick show of hands. Hands up here, anybody who finds investments and pensions even a teeny weeny bit boring. There we go. So I'm here to try and bring money to life and do something more interesting with the money that we do. Rather than just talking about pensions and SIPs and ISAs and all these different acronyms, it's about making the money work and doing something special with that money. And I really like helping people, and I love seeing people succeed. And that's what I want to do with the Wealth Club. And I want the Wealth Club to be a platform for success, whether it's personal success or business success. And when you boil it down to the basics, we all want to be healthy, happy, and financially secure. But in the West, we've also got this thing about being free. Freedom to do what we want, freedom of speech, and we want financial freedom. But is that the way that it really works out in the West? Because if you look at it, when you go to school, financial education is very, very poor, it's woeful. And that's one reason why Joe's here tonight, to bring the standards up to people. So you leave school with very poor financial education, virtually no education on how to run a business. You go to university, and you take on debt. You leave university, and the price nowadays, you're going to end up with about £50,000 worth of debt. Then you're out in the big wide world, and you're encouraged to buy a house. And then you're encouraged to buy a bigger house because it's a status symbol. And then a nice big flash car. And with cheap and easy and free credit in this materialist society, before you know it, it's a bit like a drug dealer. He just hands you out that first free fix, and then you're hooked for life. So instead of you having financial freedom, you end up with financial handcuffs. And instead of investing your money, you're servicing debt. And I want to be able to help people to get out of that cycle. I think it's about striking a balance between material success and personal well-being. And so at the Wealth Club, I think we should have 3 overriding objectives. Number 1 is financial independence. To have the freedom to do what you want, when you want, but without having to worry about running out of money. So that's where we can come in and help people with financial skills. Number 2, personal lifelong fulfillment. Because it's not about how much money you've got or how much time you've got, it's what you do with your time and your energy and your money is what really counts. And 3 is to live a long, healthy and happy life.
I did a big business plan, and one of the things that came out of it that I realised was that it was the normal people who needed help, okay? Anybody who's got a lot of wealth, brilliant, well done, most people work really hard for it, but unless we help our employees, our brothers, our sisters, people in Bristol, there won't be anybody for Derek to help, and there won't be anybody for anybody who works in financial services to sell products to. I would ask you, and I'm aware that you're not my usual audience, who is good with money in this room? Okay. I bet there's more than that in here because we are at the Royall Wealth Club, okay? But normally in a room full of employees, you would get the same sort of thing. I'm that good with money, okay? If you were in the States, do you think it would be the same? People in Britain find it difficult to talk about money. We find it slightly shameful to be okay with money and to be successful. It's become acceptable to be in debt and to go, I'm rubbish with money, okay? And room full of employees will tell me I am rubbish with money. So when I go in and educate these people, my first thing is to say to people, don't say that. Would you say you're a crap husband? A lot of men here. Crap wife? Crap sister? Crap brother? No. Would you say you're a crap lover? Are you bad in bed? You'd never say this. Okay, we've got one. He's just getting a sympathy vote. But it's acceptable to say I'm bad with money, okay? And I just think that's quite sad because money often stops us doing things. It can make us do things, but a lot of the time it stops us. I can't do that because I can't afford it. In the UK, we lose nearly 10 million days each year through sickness, but the sickness of stress and depression and anxiety. And that the Health and Safety Executive have narrowed that 4.4 million of those days is lost through financial stress, okay? So that's your workplace, your family are having days off through financial stress. And people go, what do you mean? If you worry about money, you get a headache, yeah? You don't sleep. 7 million people in the UK each year do not sleep each night because of financial stress. They are worried about money. If they turn up in your workplace, they're not very well. You can't function if you don't sleep, and if you're suffering from financial stress. Now people will say, "Oh, our employees are all right," but all right is a bit close to the mark for me. The symptom of debt comes about when people need an emergency fund, and if you don't have an emergency fund, it can take you down.
This is my dad, and in 2008, two massive things happened to me. One of them was that my dad passed away. He lived in Australia, and I got a phone call from my sister to say he wasn't very well. And so I thought, right, I want to go over there and spend as much time as I could with him. He was given about a year to 18 months. So I packed my house up, gave up my mobile phone, did everything, handed my notice in at work. It took me about a month to get there, but I was determined to spend as much time as I could with him before he passed away. And I got there just in time because he had about 5 weeks after I got there before he did pass away. So my entire life was literally put on hold at this point. So people invest from £10 is the minimum amount you can invest. We've had people who have invested thousands of pounds. Our biggest lenders lent over £100,000 now. And then we have a number of Bristol businesses that are involved, like Frisker, for example. All started off with just a few £1,000s in the beginning, and now we've lent well over £1 million. We've given out 7,000 loans to change lives of over 42,000 people. So my crazy idea after my dad passed away and I met someone who inspired me kind of spiraled into like a really successful charity, and we're doing amazing stuff now, and we're just getting bigger and bigger every day. So the reason that we've done 7,000 loans and we changed 43,000 lives is because for each loan that we give, it changes the lives of 5 other people. But just going back to the tree, which was a bit of a random thing at the beginning, that if you think about the opportunity that we have here, especially if we've got some money, it's abundant. We can pretty much do whatever we want. Whereas if you think about the opportunity of the people that we work with in Africa, it's very, very sparse. People don't have that opportunity that we can grab hold of. And so DEC is really about kind of sharing a bit of the opportunity we have with people in Africa so they can make big changes in their lives.
Hi everybody. Been introduced already. My name's Ian Townsend. I'm the Chief Executive of Bristol Green Capital Partnership, CIC. Have been since June last year, and the Green Capital Partnership is our city sustainability network. I'm also a proud Bristolian, born and bred in this city as well. Bristol faces similar challenges to other cities around the world, though perhaps at different scales and different areas. So what might seem like a remote global agenda applies here just as anywhere else, and locally as globally, only a partnership approach can address these issues. I'm going to focus on one of the biggest challenges I think that there is in our region, our city and our region: transport. Poor transport is an issue for our citizens, it's an issue for our communities, and it's an issue for our commerce. A recent Cabot Institute blog noticed that while Bristol has yet again been awarded the accolade of UK's best place to live, something that I think most of us already know, we all suffer from dangerous air pollution, which is directly linked to, quote, debilitating traffic congestion. Today we remain dependent on Victorian-era infrastructure, but we need a similarly far-thinking approach to investment in the 21st century. Last year, a regional study found that £7.5 billion of investment was needed to meet the transport infrastructure needs across the whole of the west of England. 3/4 of that amount is just to fix underinvestment to date, with the remaining quarter intended to meet the growth that we expect over the next 20 years. Transport will almost certainly be very high on the agenda of the new Metro Mayor in May, but with just £30 million a year to invest available to AM2, there is clearly a significant funding gap, and that will need bridging. This calls for new and innovative approaches. More private investment could help address our city's transport problems and benefit local investors. It would use the wealth of our city and our region to make them work better. Businesses could benefit both their company and their community and their customers by investing in transport projects. The Mini-Stern climate change report that was published during Green Capital 2015 found there was £140 million worth of energy efficiency and low carbon opportunities in Bristol in the transport sector alone. Just imagine what kind of great transport system we could have in our region if we invested our own wealth in making it happen.